and welcome to the Cheers Blueprint. I am your host, Angelica Prather, and my ultimate goal is to equip hairstylists and beautypreneurs to carve out your unique path and blueprint of success and take a seat on your throne. Why are you in business? To leave a legacy. And in these streets, on the online streets, we are all about community. And so that's why in the Cheers Blueprint, we want you to engage. We want you to share with your beauty besties, your hair besties. That is how we grow and get the message out. If you're checking us out live, put hashtag live and where you're tuning in from. And if you're checking out the replay, put hashtag replay. We love our replay listeners, okay? So this show is to help you engage and to get some tips, some strategies, and to implement in your business. That's the goal of this show. You might not know who I am. Maybe it's the first time you're checking me out, but I help beauty professionals through my signature program, Charge Your Worth Academy. I am a business coach and income strategist. And my goal is to really help you win in the area of your finances. So if you're struggling to increase your income, or you don't know how to manage your income so that you can reserve your income for the future, I'm your girl. All of my information will be in the description of this video. So go ahead and book an income strategy call with me, and I will be happy to help you and see if you're a great fit for Charge Your Worth Academy. But today, let me just tell you what we're going to be talking about. It is the Women's Month, right? And I want to celebrate women in such a beautiful way. And so I have an amazing guest by the name of Naana Badu. Sorry, I want to make sure I get her name correctly. And she's a style coach. And she's going to be talking to us hairstylists, beautypreneurs, right? We are such powerful women. We play such a powerful part. But how do we take care of ourselves? How do we show up in the room and actually exude this empowerment to being a woman? So I'm going to bring her up to the stage because I'm not going to waste no more time. And she's going to be dropping some major gems and talking about, as a Black woman, what does it feel like to empower yourself? And is it okay to have some, give yourself some grace, right? A lot of times as women, we make a lot of excuses, or we are so busy. And so we don't show up for ourselves. And so she's going to be giving us some little freedom. So get your pens, get your pads, invite your hair bestie, because trust me, you don't want to miss this one. So I'm going to bring it to the stage. Hello, my lovely darling.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm so good. I am so excited to have you on. We met several months ago, and I watch you on the online streets, and she's just beautiful, just chocolate,
Oh,
beautiful
thank
women.
you. Come on, fellow chocolate sisters.
And I don't want to botch what you do, right? And I don't want anyone to, I want you to tell us who you are, what you are, how did you get into this space, and like your journey of teaching women how to like be their best self.
Yes, I love it so much. Well, I want to say thank you, Angelica, for even having me on this show. I'm so excited to just share with your audience. My name is Naana Badu. I'm a style coach and speaker, and I really help women of color, leaders, and experts discover their bold, authentic style so they can command immense confidence and presence in any space that they enter. And I really got into this space of style and styling and image consulting um, just through friends in college. I was often the person I would get dressed and have some dope outfits. People be like, how'd you put that together? Can you help me get dressed too? So it started in an anecdotal way there. And then when I graduated from college, I started working in corporate America. I worked at IBM in doing management consulting in the IT field for over a decade. And it was in that space where I was, one of the only Black people, one of the only women, one of the youngest, right? And so I was constantly in these rooms with a lot of white male professionals who were my, superiors or managers or sometimes peers. And at first I was just like, okay, how can I stand out? How can I make an impact? Do I just kind of take a cue from what everybody else is doing, right? It's really challenging when you enter a new space and you get to new levels in your career and you're just like, I know I'm built for something special. So how do I bring that out? Right? And so I was constantly kind of looking left, looking right, and I was just like, you know what? Bump it. Like everybody else is coming in navy blue suits and looking the same, and that's just not me. I have a lot more energy. I'm very energetic, and that's why they hired me. So I just started being more of myself and wearing bolder colors. I'd wear a suit, but then I'd wear a head wrap. My family's from West Africa, they're from Ghana. And so that Ghanaian culture plays a huge part into my style and my identity now. Um, and so along the way, I just leaned into my authentic self. And so fast forward, um, I got the opportunity to work with a coworker who was another Black phenomenal woman, and she was positioning herself for a promotion at her firm. And she said, "You know what, Nana? On paper, I'm solid. Like I've got the accolades, I've got the degrees, I've got the qualifications, but I'm entering these spaces with some other partners. And I think that element of executive presence in my image is missing. It's not as strong as I need it to be. Can you help me out?" And I said, "Girl, I got you." And so we worked together. It was amazing. And I said, "Okay, this is the kind of woman that I really want to work
Mm.
with and support." So that's the rest is history.
Awesome. Well, I love that to hear your journey and how you came to this woman. Like, it's in there, but you had to bring it out. And so I think it's even easier when you can connect with people because you walk through their journey. And I think if you've never walked through their journey, you
Mhm.
can't relate to them, right? And so I love that so many of
Absolutely.
us have been in this place where we kind of wanted to like hide a little bit to blend in instead of being like bold and being fierce in how God naturally made us. And of course,
Mhm.
I do talk to stylists, and I always say this: stylists have an opportunity to create a trend, not only in just in
Mhm.
hair, but how you dress and how you show up. It makes a world of difference. And
Mhm.
so when I was listening to you and you were making some key points, I was like, there's been a time because I have worked in predominantly Caucasian salons where I
Mhm.
didn't want to stand, like I didn't want to be too forward,
Right.
right? We've had
Right.
those conversations, and people don't know
Yeah.
that those are conversations that Black women and Black men, it's like, I don't want to show up
Yep.
just too
Two.
power, right?
Two.
And
Right.
if that's just being totally
Right.
transparent. And so
For
you will
sure.
find yourself dumbing yourself down and not
Yep.
being who you are. Like if you like certain colors or you like being that bold person, like
Yep.
you want to shun that down. But I
Yes.
just want to ask you, when you see that people are going through that or doing that, how does it show up in other areas of their life?
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good question. Like you mentioned, I think it all starts with an element of not feeling worthy in some way, right? There's something within you, whether it was a comment somebody made, an experience that you had. So much of what we live through today is based on what has happened in our past, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
hashtag therapy, right? Like, so it's there's little pieces that get chipped off on
Mm,
our confidence.
yeah.
And it starts to make you feel like I'm not blank enough, right?
Mm,
You fill in the blank, right? Professional enough, smart enough, wealthy enough, whatever it is, pretty enough, right? Like you fill in the blank and then you just begin to tell yourself all of these stories. And it's so untrue.
mm,
And the women that I work with, it oftentimes permeates in their life in all of the facets,
mm.
relationships, right? Especially in relationships, in the way that, because it all starts with how you see yourself,
That's right.
right? It is really starts with how you view yourself and the way that you speak to yourself, because
Yeah.
how you speak to yourself is in turn what people are going to translate about how you feel about yourself. So they're going to
Mm,
be like, "Oh, okay. So if you always tend to not receive compliments, someone says, 'Oh my gosh, I love the earrings that you're wearing. They're so fresh.' Oh, yeah, well, man, one side's kind of broken. I just got
oh.
these from a thrift store or something. Like, they ain't special.
Mm.
Why can't you just say, 'Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I really appreciate that.'"
That's good. That's
Period.
period, point, and the blank. And I'll be
Period, point,
honest
and the
with you. I love that you said that because I think it gives people the permission to understand that that's even talking down to yourself and not knowing your worth because you're always downplaying what someone sees like so valuable and you don't see how people see you, right? Per
Yeah.
se. And so I love that because at one point in time in my life, I was a six-figure earner. I was only 20 and I didn't want people to know that I was a successful
Mm.
stylist, right? Because I didn't,
Mm.
that's just keeping real. Like I was just like, listen, y'all could think that I'm broke, I'm fine, right? And that's horrible, right? But then
It
it
is.
matched because although I was making that in my bank account, I wasn't exuding that. I wasn't creating more opportunities with the resources that I was having. I was staying kind of stuck and stagnant because I
Yeah.
didn't want to show like, I'm one and up or like I just
Yep.
in my mind started playing these horrible things or like if people would give me
Yeah.
a comment, I'm like, oh, I just got this from this little old, boutique or
Mhm.
and then the words and the language of little, it's really
Yeah.
dumbing yourself down because you don't want to
100%.
seem superior or anything like that. And I feel like that's the
Yeah.
conversations that we're not really having.
Yeah.
We're not
I
having those
mean,
conversations.
it's the realest ever. Like I always believe in, and these are things I say to myself, right? I say
Mm.
to myself, I share this with my clients, that other people's opinions prevent you from being your best self,
Woo, say that again.
right? Other people's opinions prevent you from being your best self. We give
Mm.
so much credence and so much weight and so much significance to what other people think about us.
Facts.
And it's like the way that you can, reclaim, right? Reclaiming my time, like
Yes.
the way that you can reclaim some of that confidence, really, because that's really what you're giving away every
That's
single
right.
time. You're just giving away pieces of your self-confidence. So you really in a space where you're like, I gotta reclaim some of this. Like confidence is built, right? It's not birth. People like
Mm.
don't just come out the womb and it's just like, hey, right?
Yes.
Like it, especially as an adult, we have to build it back up. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to actively engage, I believe, in, wellness when it comes to your mindset,
Ooh.
when it comes to what you say, what you read, what you feed yourself and your mind and spirit is critical number one. And you have to do that on a daily
Base.
basis.
Ooh.
Yeah, daily, on the daily,
I
right?
love that.
And it's huge. It's
It's
huge. It all starts there.
and
It really does.
like playing back
Yeah.
off of what you just said, like you have to do it daily. But I always tell people when you plant a seed, you're gonna reap a harvest no matter what it is. So if you're planting a seed of
Mm-hmm.
negative doubt, if you're planting a seed, I'm just this little, if you're planting
Oh,
a seed, you're gonna reap a harvest. So what is the
yes,
harvest that you want, right? What you sow,
absolutely.
you will reap. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, confidence is built. So what's the seed that's planted in that confidence? And then how do you
Right.
want to water the confidence to build it
Yes.
up? And that's something that I had
Yes.
to like walk in it, own it, and do it unapologetically. And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't until I started to do that in my mindset that my circle started to change, my conversation started to change, how people were
Mm-hmm.
perceiving me started to change. And I
Mm-hmm.
equate this to the women that have raised me. They are very confident, probably sometimes too confident. I'm
You
like,
confident?
turn it down a little bit. When we all get together, you be like, these
Right.
chicks is from a whole nother planet. But I realized that when I moved away from my family, because when I was around them, the confidence was like it was like a magnet. It's like you
Wow.
can do that. Like we just spoke a lot of life. And I realized
Mm.
that a lot of times we speak a lot of death over ourselves, especially as women. It's like,
Ooh.
our bodies change, right? So the clothes and the fabric, we change. I
Ah,
had two babies and
yes.
I was
Yes.
just like that old version of Angelica
Yes.
was like nice and thin, and this one got a little plumpier.
Listen.
And I had to
Listen.
watch what I was saying. I went to one of your lives and I was like, let me go to my closet and order and say RIP to that
Come
body.
on. Come on. Listen.
And
Because your style is not associated with that size. Like your weight doesn't equal your style. Like
mm,
it's not conditional. Your style is not
ooh,
conditional.
I
Like, you know what I mean? It's not. It really isn't. And it's so hard. Like you said, as women, we bear the brunt of so much.
Mm.
And when it comes to all the multifacets of the ways in which we show up in this world, we show up in our professions, right? We show up at home as a mother, as a spouse, as a wife, right? As a caretaker,
Mm.
right? We show up in all of these different ways. And a lot of times you put yourself last,
Mm.
and so it's like, how can you pour and give from an empty cup, right? We've all heard that, right?
Yes.
The cup is on E, like, and you still like, well, let me see what I can give. Let me see what I can give to everybody else. And then you're looking at yourself and you got nothing left. And
Mm.
so then when you start to think about, okay, let me look at my body, how I perceive myself, what I think about myself when I'm getting dressed, and I'm actually stepping out into the world. Every day you get dressed and you go out into the world. Every
Mm.
day you put on clothing. So, how are you going to dress yourself, clothe yourself with the type of energy that you want to go out on these streets?
Mm. That's a
That
good
is an
question.
intentional decision. That is a question that you have to ask yourself. It's like, what do I want people to feel
Mm.
when they see me?
Not what they
Right? Because
think, right? What
know
they
what they
feel.
think. How do you
Mm.
want them to feel?
Mm.
Right? The feeling is a lot better sometimes than the thoughts. Because a lot of times we get caught up in the mind and we're like, well, they're gonna think I'm not enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? In some space, right? Because we always go to the negative, right? But a lot
Mm-hmm.
of times when we get the feeling, it's like, well, I want them to feel that I'm confident, right? I want them to feel that I'm competent. I want them to feel that I'm joyful, that I'm happy,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm somebody that I'm approachable, that I'm somebody when they want to talk to, right? Like
Yes.
we're feeling people. And
Mm.
so when you think about your style that way, sometimes that's a more effective way to get to the result that you desire.
That's so powerful. And I've never really heard it broken down like that. And I went to school for fashion and they didn't even do that. So thank you for the lesson. That part. Okay.
Art.
But I heard a few key things that you actually said that was like really almost like not triggering, but it's like that's a thought. Like, how do I want people to feel? And a lot of times we think about, what do people think of me if I wear this, this bold dress and everybody's dressed down? Why do I got this on? Right? Why am I showing it? Like, who do
Yes.
I think I am? I ain't Beyonce. I shouldn't be twirling around. Like, we do that stuff and dress
Yes.
down for what the environment we're going in.
Yeah.
But what you said was like, if I dress for how I want people to feel about me. When I walk in a room, I want them to feel like I could talk to her. She's easy to talk to. She was just like, or I admired what she looked like. So maybe I'll just ask her a question, because that's all
Yeah.
about building relationships. And I never thought that sometimes how you dress can make people feel inviting to you, or feel like, oh, I like
Yes.
her. Like, I just like her
Yes.
style. So
Listen,
I love how you put that.
girl, listen, low key, high key, all the keys. That is my MO with style. Like
Mm,
every time I enter a space, I'm like, I'm about to have conversations.
mm,
Like my style is a conversation starter. And if you can't go into your closet and get dressed and look at your wardrobe and point out conversation starting pieces, clothes, shoes, accessories, jewelry,
ooh,
lip color, beauty. Like if you can't specifically go in and point to pieces that you know, when I put this on, it elicits a favorable reaction. It's going to
mm,
have somebody compliment me, ask me where I bought it, something. They're going to
ooh,
talk. If
yeah.
you can't do that, your wardrobe ain't right. You got a problem.
Yes, take us there, because I think that's okay. And it's I'm
Right.
so glad that you went there, because I have went into so many salons, right? And I think what you just said will free some stylists. That I was in Costco. My hair was done, right? I was in
Right.
Costco. I literally just came from work, and I always got clients because of how I looked. And I was in Costco, or and I never put that together, ever, like ever. I was
Oh,
just like, I'm just being
oh,
Angelica. I like
right.
these clothes, and this is what I'm dressing like. Not a big deal. And I moved from New York to California, and it was a very different vibe. But I'm like, I only know how to, this is my style. Right. And
Right.
so it actually was a conversation starter. And that's and I wanted to always feel approachable. Like, I always knew that I
Mm,
wanted to be approachable, because that's just my personality. I don't want to be that
right.
that have that rest in B face. I wanted people to say, I can walk up to her and have a conversation.
Yes.
So that's the key.
Yeah.
But I've never
That's
really thought about my clothes being a conversation starter. Never. I just thought it's just what we do, right? We just compliment each other. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I like that. I like that. Never thought about it
Yes.
like that. So I love that. But I want to tie this for hairstyles. I want you to free us or free some stylists today, because I feel like sometimes they show up to work, they're like, I want to be comfortable. But you can still be comfortable and actually make a statement. So when a stylist, or even, women just feeling like kind of frumpy, they're like, this is how I want to show up to work. I feel
Yeah.
like I find that they don't make as much money, or they are not
Mhm.
leveling up in their business, or they're not attracting new clients. And they always say clients come to me because of my work. But what keeps them and retains them is what you exude out. So
Ooh.
and you just kind of helped me kind of go there, because I'm like, I never really thought about it like that. So for those stylists that may be feeling like, I show up to work, I'm just, I'm here in my all black. That's our signature color, black.
Right.
And
Right.
how we can
Right.
just judge that up a little bit, to
Yeah.
walk in a room and say, I'm the CEO of this business, right? I'm the CEO of
Yeah.
this salon, or I have assistants. I got people looking up to me. So can you just give them a little word of what they can do to like dress that
Right.
up if they're in that frumpy place?
Yeah. Not I love that so much. Because it's true. I can literally attest when you said that, I literally played through examples of probably at least two stylists where I was just like, oh right, I got in, and then I looked at the experience and I was like, am I gonna go back? Um but to those folks listening, I would say firstly, start off with a mood board. I think that it's really important to get some inspiration before you just start pulling and picking and shopping, right? Because the first thing people think is like style, wardrobe. Let me just go shop and go to the store and get some things. Pause, right? If you're not really clear on what kind of style you actually want to have, you ain't got no business going shopping and spending your money. It's just going to be a waste. It really is. It's just going to be a waste. You're going to give your money away to the stores and you're not going to get any return.
Hmm.
So, first things first is like get a visual picture. Like get a mood board. It's just like your client comes in the chair and it's a brand new client. You're doing a consultation with them,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Right? If you're on your game, you're doing a consultation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They might be coming with some pictures,
Yes.
right?
That's
And you're like,
right.
oh, I like that. You're checking them out. You might be looking at their style, right? Physically, how they're dressed. What's your profession? What do you do? You're asking them questions because you want to get to know them,
That's right.
right? The same thing for your style. So you want to ask yourself these questions. What kind of style do I want? Like, I know I want to be comfortable, but then what? Right?
Mm.
Comfort is at the base, but then what's the next? Are you going for luxury? Are you going for like an athletic vibe? Do you want
Mm-hmm.
something more classic? Like, are you really feminine? Are you
Mm.
just all about the drama? Are you super creative? Like it's comfort, then what? Like you have to be able to really describe it,
Ooh, that's
right?
good.
So I would really encourage you to like do that self discovery and define your style. Get a couple of words to define it. That's even going to inform you as you put that mood board together because you're going to be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I want to find some really like classic creative styles. Let
Mm-hmm.
me pull a couple of things, right? Pinterest, Instagram, take your pick, right?
Mm.
Get a couple of images of women. And now images are at your beck and call,
So
okay? You can
easy.
literally put all black with accessories that are creative, and literally thousands of images will come, right?
Uh-huh. That is so
So,
true.
right? So use that as a starting point. Then I would definitely say that once you're going in and trying to actually think about what kind of pieces, first shop your closet, right?
Mm.
I
Okay.
think accessories are really great. Accessories are super easy and low maintenance. The thing about accessories, I would say, is to think about jewelry and non-jewelry accessories. I
Mm.
think adding a non-jewelry accessory can be really game changing for people, especially if you're doing all black.
Okay, wait. Stay there. What's the non-jewelry? Let's go there.
Non-jewelry accessories are glasses,
Oh, okay.
hats,
Okay.
right? Glasses, hats, scarves, Depending on what you're doing, it might be suspenders, it might be
Mm.
some kind of tie,
Uh-huh.
it might be dope belts, cool socks.
Mm.
Like those are the things that can become part of your signature style
Mm.
and differentiate you,
Mm.
make you memorable, right? Where people are like, "Oh, you always have those dope frames on." Yeah,
Yeah.
girl, right?
That's true.
So, I think the frames are easy and they could be prescription, they could be not, right? Like
Mhm.
Zlool is a great site, Zeelool,
Okay.
where
Put that
you
in the
can
chat.
find amazing glasses, all kinds of different colors, shapes that just really add a little zhuzh to the
Mm.
situation,
I
right?
love it.
And I love that too, in particular for hairstyles, because the focus is here. The focus
Mm.
is on the face,
Yeah.
right? And so the last thing that I would offer as a suggestion is, to me, the when you have a look, right? When you're creating a look, that means you are creating a memory,
Mhm.
right? You are creating something that is going to be memorable for people. So in order to do that, you need to have the CAB, CAB. You need to have clothing, accessories, and beauty. Got to
Mm.
have all three to have a complete look. So
Love it.
clothing, very simple and easy, right? Your clothes, we include the shoes as well.
Mhm.
Accessories, we just talked about a few jewelry and non-jewelry accessories that you could be including. Lastly is the beauty. That's your department, boo, right? Your
Mm.
hair is gonna be on point. If you are a hairstylist and your hair is not on point, you you have a problem. Like, you cannot step out in these streets. I have been there where I have been with people and they are doing hair, and because they give so much time and attention to doing the work, they don't take care of themselves. And you are doing yourself a huge disservice.
Say
Like,
it
there's
again.
no way, girl, there's no way I could be a stylist and you see me and I'm not tight. And I don't care if I'm wearing all black. I don't care if I'm just going to the grocery store, if I'm going for a run. Like, my style exudes. It's part of my essence, it's part of my
Yes.
identity.
Mm.
So it's always going to be, there's going to be something. There's going to be something that is in there for me. So as a hairstylist, you have to, like, it's a non-negotiable, non-starter. Like, if you want to do this, like, you're not playing the games, you're not just doing no side hobby nonsense.
Mhm.
Like, you really want, no shade to side hobby, but if you're really in this, I know the women that you're talking to, they are in this, and this is their business. This
That's
is their
it.
livelihood. Like, this is what they're trying to grow, like, give all their God-given talents to and really excel in this world. So if that's what you're doing, don't take it lightly. Don't think that
Mm.
if I didn't have time to, let me just throw this hat on and let me just keep it pushing. I'm
Mm.
like, sis, take the 10 minutes, take the extra 15 minutes, do the hair, make sure it's tight.
Mm.
Um, when we think about that last be around that beauty, that's your hair, but that's also your skincare, your makeup, right? So find the element around that skincare and makeup routine that really works for you. Me,
Yeah.
it's always going to be a pop of color on the lip. Everything else is just going to be chill, but you're going to get a pop. Find your space. Find your space,
Facts.
but always get the cab. Go get
Fa-
the cab.
Oh my God. First of all, I was like, yes, 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 and more yes. And I intentionally asked you that because I knew you had like certain strategies and to really help people kind of go through there. And I think it ties into what you were saying earlier. And a part that you said too is that we don't take time for ourselves. And these are just little things, right? That makes us, it can win so many things. Like you said, going in the room to make a conversation. That could be your next $1 million deal that want to invest in you. But you ain't show up in the room. You showed up in the room like, I don't feel like it today. Everything is
Mhm.
an opportunity for you to have a conversation, to change your network, to change your trajectory. A lot of the opportunities that I have had was because I built relationship. But they first either came to
Mhm.
me or I was not afraid to go up to them. So I love that you said that. And even to the part about our stylists who don't show up as their self, like a hat can take you a long way if you got a bad hair day. We understand there's some bad hair days. I actually cut my hair intentionally I've always had long
Mm.
hair. I've always wore weaves, but I always had this little face with these chickmunk cheeks. Like my mama got big cheeks, so I got big cheeks. When I smile, it's just like real big, and I'm always smiling, right? And one thing I loved earrings, like so I always had some unique earrings or
Mhm.
something like
Yep.
that. That was my
Yep.
thing. And then I remember my husband was like, "You should cut all your hair." I was like, "Absolutely not," because my clients are like, "Nope, not doing it." And I remember when I cut my hair, how free I like felt, but
Yeah.
every time I got dressed, it made me want to get like take my look to another level because I felt like I
Yes.
found my signature look, right? I found like
Yes.
this is me. Like I have no desire of putting on a wig, growing my hair out. Like that's never happening. Like throw them wigs out in the trash, even though they're
Yeah.
beautiful accessories. But this chick,
Right.
I don't want that
Right.
that helmet on my head. I'm just, and no offense to those who rock the wigs. Like kudos to you, but this
Yes.
chick, it's a little hot, and I
Yes.
don't want to be bothered. I don't want nothing crawling on me. So I love that you
Yes.
said that, and I love that acronym that you gave us because I don't think that we think about it like that. So I
Mhm.
appreciate you taking us to school, but I want to talk about. I want to take a time to for you to impart some wisdom into Black women intentionally, to
Mm.
really define, like, be okay with your true self, unapologetically. I know that like I've watched you in some of your lives. I watch what you are communicating. I also watch how you have been so transparent about not, like being on social media and how it kind of mess with your so
Mm.
like feeling like you had to be on, or like it just messed with your
Mhm.
confidence. And when I read that, I've said, dag, she's like, that's a freedom that some people never get to, or feel like, especially for hairstyles, they're now like, I gotta market online, I gotta be this fake persona. But women will love that you're free more than, like, that's super attractive. And I thought, when I read that, I was like, dag, that's a beautiful place to be, to say that
Mm.
out loud, to say it boldly, and the freedom it takes. So I want you to just take some time to like help the Black sisters and the Black women to really like free them in a place that they might not get this encouragement from anybody.
Yeah. Oh, Black women, y'all are my heart. Can we say that? Can we start there? I am you, you are me. Like everything that I do and share is built on our experience. Um, and my slice of what that looks like, right? Um, like you mentioned, you know, I took a break for about a month or so, a little over a month from social media. And I mentioned, at the top that my parents are from Ghana. They live in Ghana. So I'm super blessed that when I get to go visit them, I get to leave, and physically travel and go there and be in a different space. Um, and so and what really the catalyst for even taking that social media break is just that, as a business owner, there's so many things you have to do. And as a Black woman running a business, there's just another weight that's put onto that, right? We talked about all the household things that you have to do. And then when you look, especially in these online streets, like you were saying, right? There's so much of the comparison, there's so much of the imposter syndrome, because it's one thing, it's very challenging.
Mm,
I found in social media, because it's like this dichotomy. On one side, you're looking at people and you're like, man, you're so inspiring,
mm,
right? Like, oh, you're excelling, you're running a 6 7 figure business, like your story is like my story, like you had the passion to, and you're just like, I'm gonna just launch this company. And on the other side, that can spark envy, that can
mm,
spark insufficiency within ourselves, right?
yeah.
And I was having that with accounts and people I was following. I'm like, oh, I love her, but then how come every time I see her post, I be like, am I doing
Mm,
enough? Like maybe I'm not showing up enough. Maybe I need to
mm,
do this other thing. Oh, she's doing these kind of offers. Maybe I should switch mine up too, right? And I just had to pause all that noise
mm,
and just not be on Instagram in particular for a while.
mm,
And so I just offer that to any Black women out there where you feel like you have to do all of the things. Like sometimes I think when the pressure is really high on us like that, the best thing that you could do is pause.
Ooh, that's good.
I think the best thing that you can do is pause, because what I was experiencing is that I had too many voices in my head that I honestly I couldn't hear the voices that really mattered. And that was God's and mine.
That part.
And
I
and
love it.
God gave it to me. So that's you know what I'm saying? That's God's too.
Yeah.
But he also gave me common sense, and he gave me the gifts, and he gave me the talents, and he gave me a very specific message to fulfill, right?
Yes.
And purpose.
Yeah.
And I was like getting lost and trying to hop on everybody else's purpose. So it's like, we are phenomenal in every single facet, right? And that's so important for you to understand that at your core
Yeah.
and really figure out what that means for you. Because we say Black girl magic, we're excellent, Black excellence. Like we have, I mean, culture wise, like we
We're
don't
doing
like
it.
listen.
Yeah.
We do it. This is what we do, right? But you know what? How is your life, and what are the conversations you have with yourself when nobody's around?
That is so powerful.
And I think that's really that's the part, that's the part, right? When it's just you in the morning before you get up, at night, whenever is those moments when you have some quiet time, what are the thoughts that are running through your head?
Yeah.
How do you really feel about yourself and where you are in your life? And I think that gratitude is probably the biggest thing that you can adopt as a practice that can be so transformative for how you feel about yourself and how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I'll throw out, there's this app called Shine,
Okay.
that I listen to, that has daily affirmations and motivations. And I just press play on what they have on a daily basis. And it talks about life from all kinds of perspectives. But it's really helpful to, again, feed my mind with things that I know that are going to lift me up.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what's most important is me being able to feel like I'm doing what I've been put on this earth to do,
Yeah.
and that I'm helping someone else,
Oh.
right? And so when a woman comes to me and says, I mean, like case in point, one of my clients sent me a video message this morning and was like, Nana, I got dressed. She had put on this fly, funky outfit. She's a full-time student. She was going to school and she forgot her wallet at home. And she was like, I stopped to get a tea. And she was like, you know what? I was in the line and I was like, okay, oh shoot, I forgot my wallet. But she was like, I think I know I have some cash. And she was looking for her money. And someone else in the line came up and said, you know what? I love the energy of your whole aura and your look. I'm going to pay for your tea.
Wow. Look at the blessings just coming on because you just exuded
Listen,
positive
just
energy.
because, just because. And she said she started off her day and she was just like, I could have just threw on any old thing. She's a mom of two. She's a full-time student. She's switching up her career. Like, she's doing all the things. And I'm not even going to say but, and she also recognizes that it's important for her to be at her best. And at your best doesn't mean, forget the extremes. Life is not like I'm at my best and I'm at my worst, right? And when we hear best, that's a spectrum. Your best for today might simply be, I got up, I ate some breakfast, the kids got to school, I'm at my best today. That might be today. Another day at your best might be, I got the beat face, hair done, dress on, heels, and I'm going out to garner more clients, right? So, like, release that pressure and that feeling to like be at an extreme of excellence. There's a spectrum for it. Allow yourself to just feel good in each moment.
So
Find something good in each moment that you can feel good about yourself, because I tell you, it starts on the inside. Like,
everything.
style, hair, your beauty, your image. It is an outward experience, but it is an inner connection. It is an inner energy. That's what matters. That's what
Yeah.
matters. We see beautiful people all the time. How many beautiful people you see and you're actually go and tell them that they're beautiful?
Mm.
Sometimes you don't, because the energy coming from them is like,
Yeah.
I don't talk to them. Nah,
It's
the
like you
energy ain't
pretty, but
right.
you got a
Right.
bad attitude. Like,
You got a bad
it's like I
attitude,
used to say,
right?
it's a waste of a face. I'm like, God, what happened to them? Why they couldn't, like, what happened to their life that they just turned out to be so? And sometimes it's such a defense mechanism. So I have been in the place where even when I seen the bad attitude, I will still try because I want to see the heart. Sometimes it's their guard, right? And they're
Yeah.
just like, but it does. It's like, do I want to go over there? Like, I think twice. Do I want to talk to you
Yeah.
or do I not? Because I might not be in a. I might be protecting myself from all of that.
Right.
So
Right.
I love that
Yeah.
you said that, and I wanted you to empower because I think sometimes we don't get poured into, especially from
Mm,
social media. And I know that's
yeah.
what you're about, and I love that's kind of what you are about. It's
Yeah.
deeper than just the physical outside. There is that soul work that you do. And when I've watched any of your lives or anything, I'm like, she truly authentically cares about the soul work so that it can do it. Because you can put on some fly clothes. If you're not confident, it's gonna show.
It's
Facts.
gonna show. It's
Facts,
gonna
facts, facts.
show.
So I
It's
love
gonna
how you do the soul work and match it with the outside, right? And because I think that's very important. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted you to come on the show because I felt like you would be able to bring that out. And actually, people need to hear that. They need to feel a safe place
Mm,
where other people that look like them, sound like them, is giving them the okay to say, it's all right to be, not on your best, but let me show you how to be your best. And how you
yes.
tie the best it doesn't need to be an extreme. It's just like, I woke up today and I'm grateful today and I got some rest today. Like those are
Mm,
best, right? I talk about rest culture is definitely like I don't know about hustle, but the God I serve,
yeah.
he didn't
Mm.
tell me I had to struggle for nothing. So
No.
I'm not I'm not hustling. I'm not for sign me up for the hustle culture. That's not me. I'm all about
No.
rest because
Yep.
not to take it to the word, but I am gonna go there. Like every miracle that Jesus performed, what
Oh,
did he do after? He went and rest. Like, how you just gonna bust a miracle out and then be
yeah.
like, I'm going to sleep? Nah, we're not going to sleep. You gonna go tell everybody about your blessings, right? But he went to do that. So we practice that. We just practice that little
Yeah.
secret sauce.
Just a little
Guess
bit.
what? We're golden.
Mm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you sharing that, and I want to just ask you a few pop questions to
Yeah.
maybe help us out. What is your
Okay.
favorite lip line? Like you like bold colors. So if someone is like, I want to get those lips, what's that color and where did you get it from?
Okay. Oh, do I have to just give one? Can I give multiple or
Yes,
the
give it.
favorite?
It's gonna
Okay.
help
So,
people.
okay, cool, cool, cool. So I love Lip Bar. Lip Bar is amazing. My favorite red lines of lip colors are all from the Lip Bar, Boss Lady and Hot Mama.
Ooh,
Um, this lip is Mac.
okay.
Mac is my other go-to. I don't know the color. It's relatively new. I saw it and I was like, that looks like something that would be me. But it's like a lipstick gloss kind of feel.
Okay.
It comes in like a little tube, but it's Mac. Mac is great. They got the bold colors down too.
Okay.
Those are my top.
Okay. And then I want to ask you like accessories. Where's your favorite accessory place to like go and say these are statement pieces, one of a kind, I must get it?
Okay, yeah. Oh, it's that, and you know what? People ask me this often, and then sometimes people don't like the answer, but I'm like, it's the most honest answer I got. But when I travel,
Hmm.
I like that. To me, that's like the best places to
To
get
get.
pieces. I get a
Mm,
lot of my pieces from Ghana,
mm,
and so that's a biggie for me. But some of the places that are like online where you can get some of those kinds of accessories. Um, um, Yevu is a line that I like a lot that has some different pieces. And they have clothing pieces as well. The
okay.
jumpsuit I'm wearing is actually from Yevu, Yevu.
Mm,
Um, Another space that I love for some accessories too, if women are like into some kind of African print vibes as well, is Dianu.
ooh, okay.
That's really dope too. Yeah, so it's for me it's accessories. When I find the best accessories I find, they're always in person. Like
Okay.
it's when I travel And I tell people, like, when you travel, all the places, go to the stores that you shop in at home. So if
Mm,
you go to Zara, right? You could be in Detroit and be at Zara. And then maybe you travel to, I don't know, Miami, or you travel to, it could be, you could travel to Columbus. You could not even go far, right?
yeah.
But go to the Zara in that location, because every location carries something different.
Okay. I love it.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's something that I always love to do, because I love, Zara always has a great piece or two. So that's one that's like accessible, that's everywhere
everywhere.
that you could pop into.
All right, so I'm doing this because I know people are like, well, where should get this from? Where should get that from? And I want to pick your brain.
Oh,
So,
all
where
day.
is your favorite like boutiques, like for clothes, whatever size you are? Like, what are some that we haven't heard of? Because I know people shop online more than ever since we're in the post pandemic. So, what are some cool boutiques that we can check
Yeah,
out that we may not heard of?
yeah, yeah. One of my favorites is J. Brooks Boutique.
Mm,
And this is a Black woman-owned boutique. And she has everything from great denim jeans, dusters, dresses, shoes, and even a couple of jewelry pieces too.
mm,
But she just gets it when it comes to the body of Black women, the
mm,
curves, right? Having some stretch and some denim. Her duster pieces are just so great. Like, it adds a nice little pop of color to your workwear or casual wear.
mm,
I think a duster is a great piece because it's a layering piece, and especially for a hairstylist, if you're always in all black, if you're not accessorizing, you layer, right? Wear
mm,
the black tank top and black jeans and throw that duster on for a little pop of color or print,
mm.
right? So J. Brooks Boutique is like one of my go tos
Okay.
that I was there. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Last but not least, favorite shoe company that you love, or like these are the unique shoes.
Mm. Oh, shoes are hard.
Same.
Um. Oh, so I love this. Shoes are hard. Um. What's a good one? And I'm also thinking about ones that people might not have heard of that I really like. And then I'm always going to big up Black women. So there you go. Um, so Commune, and I hope I say their name right, but it's Kahmune.
Okay.
They have a great line of all basic shades of our skin tones. So,
Okay.
in thinking about your audience, a lot of times people are like, oh, I really struggle to find some basic, whether it's a flat, a pump, a sandal, at least a lot of my clients that, especially in their flesh tone, because
Mm-hmm.
that's something that you could rock with anything.
Anything.
And
Yeah.
yes, they do that exceptionally well. They do that very, very, very well. So that's a big one that is a
Okay.
go-to for a lot of my clients that they really like.
I love it. Well,
And
I
it's Black
think
women.
yes, 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 yes. So what we're gonna do, y'all, is we're gonna put all of that in the chat so that you guys can get those information, click the links and find them so that you guys can kind
Yep.
of go and support these other Black owned businesses. And I just want to simply just thank you for taking the time out to talk to us and school us and give us empowerment. So tell everybody what's next for you, what you got going on in the Nana world and the style world. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, always lots of great things, but definitely doing a lot of style coaching, image consulting, and public speaking. So, we are actually branching out and entering a little bit more into some of the corporate spaces and doing some image consulting and style workshops for women professionals, women entrepreneurs who, similar to your audience, really need some strategy, some inspiration, and then some also tactical tips around how they can be more memorable and more authentic and more bold in their style. So, if you are part of an organization, if you're a part of a company and you know that your employees or your peers are not arriving to work, or even if you're building your own company and you have employees and you know that you really are trying to create a really important signature brand and you need that cohesiveness for your folks. That's definitely a space and a lane that I'm excited about, where we're doing a lot of cool workshops for those folks. And then, as always, I have a signature style coaching program called the Style Elevation Experience. It is a 3-month program where I take women through my style framework, the CKC method, and that helps them gain more clarity, knowledge, and confidence so they can show up bigger and bolder and more authentic in any room.
Well, I'm super excited about what she has going on. All of her information is going to be in the description of this video. You can connect with her. To those women that's like, you know what? I talk to women from all different ages, and it doesn't matter. It's never too late. So don't start making up all those excuses why you can't. What is the, don't worry about it. Go and talk to her, because I promise you, especially if you see, like, she can't show her whole outfit because she's sitting, right? But I'm sure it's fabulous from the Rudy to the Tootie. Go and follow her on Instagram, LinkedIn, and she does a lot of full body shots. And watch when you see her style, you be like, dang, yes, girl. She's just wearing it and she's owning her confidence. And that's why we wanted her on today. I hope that you guys feel empowered for Women's Month. This is supposed to be a month that we are celebrating each other, and we also want to celebrate every facet of ourselves. So I just want to say thank you so much, Naana, for coming on and sharing your knowledge, sharing your wisdom. We just appreciate your time. So if you could wait backstage, and then I'm going to close out the show, and then we'll chat right after. Alrighty, guys. This was such a good show. I love connecting with other boss women that is empowering, that's loving, that just has a heart to serve. I mean, how else could you do anything, right? It's just a beautiful thing. Connect with other women that maybe you're not great in that space. Like, your circle should be an influence of where you can grow, right? So if you're not being your best authentic self, then connect with someone. She has a live show that she does on LinkedIn. She didn't even mention that. I'm going to mention it. But she does lives where she's actually sharing a lot of what she does. And if you are not able to connect with her, here's another way that you can connect with her. Get your circle of women around you that's going to empower you to be your best authentic self. And I hope that today you felt empowered and you felt encouraged to walk boldly in whatever it is that you're doing, and to be the best version of yourself. And like she said, your best could be any scope. Don't make it like it has to be this grandiose thing. Just be the best version of yourself. So I hope you guys are blessed and filled encouraged and filled empowered. We will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.